friends, welcome to our channel MBBS at Ease. We are able to move everywhere and we are able to lift the things what we want. All these are because of contractile tissue muscles which are made up of contractile protein, actin and myosin. So in this video we are going to learn muscles of the pectoral region. Let's move on to the video. The contents which are included are pectoralis major muscle and its bilaminar tendon, pectoralis minor muscle, subclavius, serratus anterior, clavipectoral fascia and the clinical aspect of every muscles. Let's move on to the pectoralis major muscle. It is the largest muscle of the pectoral region. It is thin fan shaped. It has two heads, small clavicular head and large sternocostal head. The clavicular head becomes prominent on lifting heavy rod, that is flexion of the arm at 90 degree, and sternocostal head becomes prominent on depressing the rod, abducting the arm to 60 degree. The structures under the cover of pectoralis major are in bones and cartilages, sternum, ribs and costal cartilages, fascia is clavipectoral fascia, muscles are subclavius muscle, pectoralis minor, serratus anterior, intercostals, upper parts of biceps brachii and coracobrachialis, vessels are axillary vessels, and nerves are cords of brachial plexus with their branches. Now let's move on to the origin. Clavicular head arises from the medial half of the anterior aspect of the clavicle. Sternocostal head arises from the lateral half of the anterior surface of the sternum up to 6th costal cartilage. Medial parts of 2nd to 6th costal cartilage. Aponeurosis of the external oblique muscles of the abdomen. So in the diagram you can see clearly the aponeurosis of external oblique muscles of the abdomen. Before moving on into the insertion, we must know what is meant by bilaminar tendon. It is divided into anterior lamina and posterior lamina. Anterior lamina is thicker and shorter, whereas posterior lamina is thinner and longer. Anterior lamina is formed by superficial fibers arising from the clavicle and deep fibers arising from the manubrium. Posterior lamina is formed by the fibers from the front of the sternum, 2nd to 6th costal cartilage, sternal end of 6th rib, and aponeurosis of the external oblique muscles of the abdomen. The fibers from the sternum and aponeurosis get twisted around and forms the twisted fibers. That is, the fibers which are lowest are inserted highest. This twisted fibers forms the anterior axillary fold. It is nothing but the anterior boundary formed by the lower border of the pectoralis major muscles. So in the diagram you can see clearly the anterior axillary fold. Now let's move on to the insertion. It is inserted by the bilaminar tendon into the lateral lip of the bicipital groove or intertubercular sulcus. It is U-shaped. It is supplied by lateral pectoral nerve arising from the root of C5 to C7 and medial pectoral nerves arising from the root of C8 and T1. The clavicular head helps in the flexion of the arm and the sternocostal head helps in the adduction and medial rotation of the arm. So here you can see the brachial plexus. Lateral pectoral nerve is a branch of the lateral cord which is formed by the anterior or ventral divisions of the upper and the middle trunk, and medial pectoral nerve which is a branch of medial cord which is formed by the anterior divisions of the lower trunk. Now let's move on to the pectoralis minor muscle. It is a small triangular muscle that lies deep to the pectoralis major muscle. The important thing is it is a key muscle of axilla separating the axillary artery into three parts by passing over it. Some fibers separate and pass from the first rib to coracoid process constituting pectoralis minimus muscles. Now let's move on to the origin. It arises from the 3rd, 4th and 5th ribs near their costal cartilages. It is inserted by a short thick tendon into the medial border and upper surface of the coracoid process of the scapula. It is supplied by medial and lateral pectoral nerves similar to the pectoralis major muscles. It helps in the protraction of the scapula. It depresses the shoulder joint. It acts as an accessory muscle during the forced inspiration. So in the diagram you can see clearly the origin insertion of the pectoralis minor muscles. Now let's move on to the subclavius muscles. It is a small rounded muscle that lies horizontally inferior to the clavicle. It originates from the first rib at the costochondral junction. It is inserted into the subclavian groove on the inferior surface of the clavicle. It is supplied by nerve to subclavius, which is a branch of the upper trunk. Its action is it stabilizes the clavicle by pulling it inferiorly and medially during the movements at the shoulder joint. Now let's move on to the serratus anterior muscle. It is also known as boxer's muscle or swimmer's muscle. It is a broad sheet of muscle covering the side wall of the thorax. Actually, it is not a muscle of pectoral region, but it is described with the muscles of the pectoral region for the convenience. It arises by the series of 8 digitations from the upper 8 ribs. The first digitation arises from the first and second ribs, whereas other digitations arises from their corresponding ribs. Fifth to 8th digitations interdigitate with the external oblique muscles of the abdomen. It is inserted into the costal surface of the scapula along its medial border. First two digitations are inserted into the superior angle, next two into the medial border, and lower 4 or 5 digitations into the inferior angle of the scapula. It is supplied by long thoracic nerve or nerve to serratus anterior from the root of C5, C6 and C7. C5 root supplies first and second digitations, C6 root supplies third and fourth digitations, and C7 root supplies fifth to eighth digitations. It is a powerful protractor of the scapula. It pulls the scapula forward around the chest wall for pushing and punching movements required during the boxing, so hence it is known as boxer's muscle. It keeps the medial border of the scapula in contact with the chest wall. So this, with the help of the trapezius, helps in the abduction of the arm. It also helps in the forced inspiration. Here you can see the long thoracic nerve or nerve to serratus anterior arising from the root of C5, C6 and C7. So now let's move on to the clavipectoral fascia. It is derived from the costocoracoid ligament. It is nothing but the thick upper part of the fascia extending from the first rib near the costochondral junction to the coracoid process. So it is a fibrous sheet which is situated deep to the clavicular head of the pectoralis major muscles. So in the diagram you can see clearly. Now let's move on to the extension. Vertically, it extends from the clavicle above to the axillary fascia below. It is divided into two parts, upper part and lower part. Upper part splits to two lamina to enclose the subclavius muscles. The anterior lamina attaches to the clavicle and posterior lamina fuse with the deep cervical fascia and axillary sheath. Axillary sheath, it is a fibrous sheath which encloses the axillary artery and the three cords of the brachial plexus. Lower part it splits to enclose the pectoralis minor muscles. Then it extends as the suspensory ligament of axilla and attaches to the axillary fascia. The suspensory ligament of axilla helps to maintain the concavity of the axilla. In the diagram, you can see what is meant by the deep cervical fascia. Then medially, it is attached to the first rib and costoclavicular ligament. Laterally, it is attached to the coracoid plexus and blends with the coracoclavicular ligament. So now structures piercing the clavipectoral fascia. So this can be remembered by the mnemonic called C for cephalic vein, A for acromiothoracic artery or thoracoacromion artery, L for lateral pectoral nerve and L for lymphatics. Now let's move on to the clinical aspect. Congenital anomaly of pectoralis major. Occasionally, in pectoralis major muscle, the sternocostal part is absent at the birth. This causes weakness in the adduction and medial rotation of the arm. Next, paralysis of serratus anterior muscle. Injury to the long thoracic nerve or nerve to serratus anterior by the stab injury or during removal of the breast tumor leads to the following effects. Protraction of the scapula is weakened. And another important thing is winging of the scapula. The inferior angle and medial border of the scapula becomes unduly prominent, particularly when the patient pushes his hand against the wall, producing a clinical condition called the winging of the scapula. I hope you understood well. Thank you for watching our video. For more videos, subscribe our channel MBBS at Ease.